Hello. I got something that I want to kind of make note of because I think I probably said it in with the stepping video, but I wanted to make sure that I sort of reiterated something in terms of the Taiji walking and the stepping of when we're walking through, whether you want to play it just as the stepping by itself, as a meditation or a practice for the legs, but especially when we're playing the routines and we have the other postures that we're playing with it too. Excuse me. I want to make sure that you don't stop when you're stepping. You know, with Taiji Chuan and any of the internals, you want to continue the movement from the opening posture to you close. There's no definitive stop. Even if you're doing Chen style, where there's a lot of the fodging and that explosiveness, or even Xing Yi, again with the fodging and explosiveness, you don't stop. I know that's something that I've seen in tournaments where, you know, people might have very good athleticism, good strong legs and all this other stuff, but they keep stopping and it's posing. And that really doesn't have a place in internals. You know, unless you're doing something special for a movie or you're doing something special, I don't know, taking pictures or something like that, you don't stop. So, you know, those who might be watching this and they see me on the other side of a judge's table and any of your routines have you sitting there, I'm going to mark you off for posing because that's not part of internals. But I've noticed that sometimes I've had students they'll stop or as they're coming in and stepping in, and I'll give you an example here in a moment, they're making this stop. I think sometimes it has to do with maybe confusion about the routine. Maybe it's a balance issue, a strength issue, and with the legs, things like that. But you don't stop. We want to make sure that the knees are consistently bent, you know, especially in yang style, when you do your opening and you sink into the you know level that you are when you're playing the opening form, that's the level that you play. It might come up a little bit on some of the kicks. It's going to drop down if you do drop stance low enough for the snake creeps down sort of postures, but you're staying at that same level. And a lot of times stopping brings you up when you don't want to do that. But also, in terms of the Qigong aspect, it will hinder the fluid movement of the energy through the body, which, considering that, you know, traditional Chinese medicine, the idea of helping to heal and or cure and or prevent dis-ease is the fluid motion of that energy and the blood and the hormones and things like that. Blockage, stoppage equals dis-ease in this sort of thing. So that's where, like, culturally some of this is coming from in terms of meditation. Or even with the energy too, it's almost like you're cutting the energy of the circuit. Think of it like an electrical circuit. In terms of meditation, it's cutting that fluid circuit of the mental attention to what's going on right here, right now, not being distracted on anything else around what's here right now. It will cut that attention too. In terms of martial practice, if you're going through the motion of something and you balk part way through, you're not going to complete the motion. You're not going to complete the application, whether it's Tida Shuai, the punching, the kicking, the throwing, the locking. You're not going to complete it. You're not. If you do, there's a very good chance that you're just bullying through with just raw, dirty force, as opposed to the technique that we're trying to practice here. So don't stop. What I mean by that, let me put my tea down, because of course I've got to have my tea. So what I mean is, it should be, if we're doing our Taiji walking correctly. Thank you, Luna. We're coming in and you step through. You see how this stepping is continuous. So you almost get that yin yang sort of thing. So at my very biggest point here is when I keep moving. And even if I do my turning, it continues to go without stopping. Now, a lot of the times what I've seen in some cases is this. They come in and stop. Even if they don't raise up. They come out, stop, and then go. Sometimes it's even weighted. You can't really see it that well from here. So if I'm here and I come up, then like weight comes on it. And then they have to shift weight again to be able to go up. This is no good for the reasons that we've discussed. It's got to be, we're coming in, continue through. We want this half circle to be completed in one motion. The body weight has to continue through in order to make the applications correct. The turning of the hips and therefore the shoulders and the torso pivoting around that central horror line in the body has to continue. You can't do that if you're stopping. It's like the same thing. I see this all the time with like deadlifts. People slam the bar down, wait a second, and then come back up. I'm sorry. I hate that type of deadlift because you're shocking your system with hitting it down. You're releasing and relaxing and then tensing back up for a second. That can't be good for you. There's got to be a lot of strain and a lot of shock and stuff going through the body. Now, if you're doing that in a combat situation, you've, again, removed any impetus of the actual application. You've taken out the ability of the body to rotate and pivot and therefore yield and redirect. If you're on the sort of yin aspect of it, the silk reeling part, and you've removed your ability to do things like fa jing or being able to throw or anything else like that effectively. You've also given the opponent a moment, which might be all they need, in order to either recover or continue on with what they were doing almost unimpeded in terms of the health, the meditation, the qigong aspect of it. It's the thing I'll talk about sometimes too, where it's, if you're trying to fill a tub and you keep pulling the plug, you're never going to fill the tub with what you want to take your bath or anything else like that, because you keep pulling the plug with it. You keep, if you want to run electricity and you keep unplugging and plugging it back in, your system, your circuit is not going to work as it could. The refinement of the energy, the refinement of what's going on in terms of the meditative mind aspect of it, keep getting cut in segments as opposed to moving in one smooth time as it should. So don't stop your stepping. When we're stepping out, watch. This is why I want the alignments. This is why we keep everything nice and straight. And the knees bent. The knees bent even here. You toe out 45, watch your angle so you can keep your weight coming through and step out, down, and through. So that's what we want with the stepping. We can't have stopping for all those other reasons already discussed. I won't repeat ad nauseum. But I just wanted to make that note because I just sort of keep seeing it. I know that's not what I'm teaching, but I think that there are other reasons for it. But it's definitely something that as you're, we're still kind of in the preliminary aspects of it. We haven't really gotten into the form as itself. So it's something to be wary of, to be mindful of as you continue your practice in terms of building it from that utter ground floor that I'm trying to do with this, or if you have other practice and you're just trying to refine it and make it better as you go. Either way, we want that contiguous motion going on. Okay, that's it for this. Thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun, good hunting. Enjoy your playing of these really cool things. Like, subscribe, and all that, share, and all that good YouTube-y stuff. And peace. We'll talk at you later. Ciao.